stories. I just want to inform that.
Just to tell our people that women can also contribute their own quota in the development of Ondo State.
I want to welcome to you. It's another time on Arabimrin's Diary on West House Television. My name is Timulei Falaji.
I don't want to tell stories, I just want to inform that.
The youths of a nation, they say, are the trustee of its posterity. This is because it is the younger generation who will be saddled with the responsibility of carrying on with the goals and aspirations of the society, while the current crop of citizens join the Elders Forum with little physical energy and emotional zeal to deliver. October is widely regarded as a pink month. Yet it's a month where awareness on breast cancer is created. It's a month where survivors of breast cancer are celebrated, and also a month where those who died from breast cancer complications are honored. And that is why the Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria, BRECAN, enlisted secondary school students in the campaign against breast cancer. For the founder of Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria and Ondo State First Lady, Arabimrin Betty Anyanwa, the mantra of the future is catch them young. So today on this edition of Arabimrin's Diary, we shall be taking a look at the official launch of BRECAN Club at Fiwashaye Girls Grammar School and other recent activities of the association to celebrate the Pink Month. And these activities include the Jog for Life held in Ibadan, and of course, in Akure. The Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria, BRECAN, is a non-governmental organization committed to sensitizing, enlightening, and educating the masses on the scourge of one of the most deadly and commonest cancer ailments. Its founder, Mrs. Betty Anyanwa, a breast cancer survivor, has said at times without number that she is inspired to use her own triumphant battle with the scourge in 1997 to spur others who might be in her shoes never to lose in the face of any threat as far as their health is concerned. Recalling that early detection, prompt diagnosis, and cheerful attitude in the course of treatment are essential to ensuring speedy recovery in her own case, the Ondo State First Lady is spreading the gospel across the nation that breast cancer should never be regarded as a death sentence.
Time and time again, women are told that you have to remove your breast to live. They will run away. And they now come when things are out of hand. Then of what use? What are you doing with diseased breast? And I said, if that's what it takes for me to remain alive, please take it off. The main reason, I have to live. I have to be here and raise my children.
It was therefore in line with our vision and mission to safeguard the total health for the women folk that the Ondo State branch of BRECAN was launched shortly after the inauguration of Arabimrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu as democratically elected governor of the Sunshine State.
BRECAN had a foray to Ondo State 98 or so, but I'm not too sure it was well rooted. But with the development we have now, why did I say 98? I was here in 97, 98, and I'm sure the first lady came in here, did something about breast and go, not like every other thing, but I'm sure this time around, this will be well grounded forever.
According to Mrs. Anyanwu Akeredolu, unveiling the Ondo State branch of Brecan 2 decades after its inauguration is itself a statement that it is never too late to do the right thing.
Most important, to introduce Ondo State Comprehensive Cancer Initiative, which all of you can bear me witness that my husband has given his words. You cannot afford to renege. I keep emphasizing on that. You go world heavily. You cannot do that. The second objectives include to promote the crowdfunding initiative to support women in Ondo State experiencing breast cancer.
Arabimrin Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu is also a fervent believer in the philosophy of unity of purpose in subduing all the challenges confronting women.
Our women can no longer lose their lives because they don't have money or because they lack the awareness. And what we're doing today, like I always emphasize, is the entry point. We must be able to continue speaking loudly, screaming on rooftops for our women to begin to understand the behavior of this disease.
She therefore charged women to always look within themselves and be strong in times of trial and tribulation.
I would like to give my praises or shout my praises on men that support their wives. And I want to tell you that I see such men very, very responsible. And we want to see much more of such men who support in whatever their wives are doing, just like my Arabimrin does.
The huge financial implication of cancer treatment has made it imperative for all hands to be on deck in defeating this scourge.
Funding is one very strong factor that militates against the success of fighting against breast cancer in any community. When there is funding, when there is money, then you can be able to fight, because almost everything that you put in the treatment of cancer in Nigeria or anywhere else in the world, has to do with money. Talk about making the diagnosis, the equipment for making the diagnosis, the test that the patient does to be able to make a diagnosis of the cancer. They have to spend money, and then of course when you want to characterize that cancer, they have to spend huge amount of money. Then when you want to start the treatment itself, then definitely the expenditure skyrockets, So, and then even after completing all the treatment, then there's need for continuous monitoring of that patient, because the cancer has a tendency of growing back, So we need to continuously monitor that patient so that at any such time you think that it is trying to grow back, you begin to attack it again. So all those monitoring after the treatment requires money. And then in case there's any attempted recurrence of the cancer and in which you want to start treating it again, it needs money again. So funding is very, very, very important, okay? And it is one of the major factors that militate against the success of treating breast cancer, and not only breast cancer, any other type of cancer that you can think of in any society in the world, not only in Nigeria, in the world.
Like every other cancer, if cancer is detected early and treatment is instituted at that early stage, the chances of achieving cure is much, much higher. And one of the reasons why it's a leading cause of mortality among Nigerian women is because the majority of women in every hospital in Nigeria present with late stage of the disease.
In a bid to further drive home the awareness campaign, Brecan recently staged a health fitness trek tagged Jog for Life in Ibadan and Akure with impressive turnout in both editions. The Brecan chairman in Ondo State, Dr. Mrs. Tony Ayimoro, noted that the earlier the ailment is detected, the greater the chances of survival, even as she called for the larger society to get involved in the crusade.
If we are able to detect breast cancer early, the better for it. We wouldn't need to spend so much money for the cure. This is the reason why we have been going around today, to show to people, we are in the markets now. We are creating awareness also in the markets here to let our people know. We are bringing it to the grassroots so that people will know that it is important for them to be breast cancer aware.
The lead jogger at the Jog for Life in Akure and also suburb chairperson of those states, Princess Oladuniodu, said Brecan is a beautiful initiative which will help nip in the bud cases of breast cancer in society.
We've been told cancer does not kill, and we've seen the example of Mrs. Betty Akeredolu, who is one person that's propagating this message that we must be aware so we can stay alive. They say Brecan giving hope and saving life.
It is important that we examine ourselves, our breast. Cancer is not only found in the breast, it can be found in other places in the body, but our breast, we should examine it every month, and then if we see any changes, swollenness, discharge, and other sorts that is different from your breast that you know, it is better that we quickly go to the hospital to do a proper check.
A consultant oncologist with the State Specialist Hospital Akure, Dr. Ndidi Okunoga, said Brecan has played a major role in creating awareness of breast cancer, just as other stakeholders commended Mrs. Akeredolu for Brecan's establishment.
Every October, we try to celebrate the awareness of breast cancer, and that's the Pink Month all over the world. And so for Brecan, it's not different. We celebrate the Pink Month to let our women know why and how to examine themselves concerning breast cancer, all they need to know about the symptoms and how they are able to prevent this dreadful disease. But there are risk factors. There are factors that when a woman has this factor or when she's associated with these factors, such a woman may develop breast cancer. The first one, like I said, is age. As a woman gets older, the risk increases. Also gender. Breast cancer is more common in women than men. We know men also have breast cancer. And they're talking about diet. We need to reduce our fatty diet. We need to take more of vegetables, more of fish, and then more of food that are nutritious to the body. And they're talking about family history. We find out that breast cancer is very common among families. So when you have a family history, it's very important that you start screening yourself early enough. Another risk factor we find out is tobacco smoking and alcohol intake. We advise our people to stop tobacco smoking, stop excessive intake of alcohol. And lastly, we are encouraging our women to examine themselves. Breast self-examination is very, very important.
What you need to do once in a month for ladies, 1 week after menstruation, we advise to do self-breast examination. And this examination involves using the palm of the hand to check all parts of the breast, checking for any lump, something that is hard that they've not noticed before. And if they see anything, it doesn't mean it's a breast lump, it doesn't mean it is cancer. They will need to go to hospital and see their doctors.
We celebrate Talk for Life to create awareness, to exercise our bodies. Can you imagine these mamas trekking all the way from ShopRite to this place to let you know that exercise is a healthy lifestyle? We also celebrate Talk for Life to celebrate survivorship. Most people in our midst are survivors of breast cancer. To let you know that breast cancer can be survived if you do the right thing at the right time.
It has been a vital information within the community, among the students, and even within the state at large. We do pray that the Lord Almighty God will continue to strengthen and be with our Arabimrin for more effort to put on ground in order to kill these, I can call it a deadly disease, but she has shown us the way out of it. That is that people that do have this thing still have hope, and if they detect it on time, the life can still be saved.
That women should take care of themselves. Our breasts belong to us. You know what your breast looks like and feels like. And try as much as possible to do the breast self-exam every month, like we always tell you to do.
We thank you.
So it was a delegated responsibility in action when the Brecan School Club was launched with Fuashaye Girls Grammar School, Akure, as the pilot institution.
We want to make sure that through clubs, Brecan clubs in our secondary school, we create awareness. We give public education so that people who are ignorant about breast cancer will be well aware that there are people living with cancer among us, and that anybody could get breast cancer any point in time. And so we must be our sisters and brothers keepers.
Speaking at the event, a consultant general surgeon with the Federal Medical Center, Dr. Bakatong, explained that more success stories in the fight against cancer are underway with the coming on board of Brecan Club, just as he urged parents, guardians and teachers to keep the flame of service burning in the minds of the young volunteers with proper mentorship.
Ondo State stands tall among all the states in terms of creating awareness. It also stands tall in terms of giving assistance to patients who have been diagnosed to have cancer, especially breast cancer, because Her Excellency have committed herself, to such, activities, the awareness and then patient support, and then of course other activities like research and so on and so forth. So, but patient support has been coming to many patients, because oftentimes those patients come and meet me in FMC Owo, and then they come with a letter from her, and then that I should assess, and then assess how much it will cost for this patient to be treated with cancer. And then I'll do the assessment, write it down, give the patient will take it back to our office, and then, they will release money to assist. So for the rating, I will rate her as excellent, so that is the thing.
Other dignitaries who spoke at the event, including the wife of the Commissioner for Health, Mrs. Toyin Adegbero, portend that ignorance will no longer be an issue with the younger generation's involvement.
You know, there's this saying that whatever you do that you don't bring the young people into, as time goes on, it's going to die off. Because, of course, somebody like me will not be here till eternity. These young ones that were inaugurated today will get home, teach their parents, teach their friends, teach their neighbors. They will, be a part of an advocacy for the disease, breast cancer. There are churches, there are different mosques. So it's a beautiful thing. It's advancing the cause of eradication of breast cancer.
Highlights of the event include inauguration of Washaye Brekan Club. There was also drama presentation as well as cultural display.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, I inaugurate Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria Club in this very school, the Washaye Girls Secondary School.
My auntie died of breast cancer, and since then, I've planned that every opportunity I come across to enlighten young women about how to fight breast cancer, I'm going to grab it. So as the president of Brekan Club, I'm going to try my best to enlighten all the ladies I come across to fight against breast cancer, so I will make the world a better place.
Then begin to massage your breast. Thanks. Hello, Vivian. Hello? Is the excellency on seat? No, not at all. I have a patient of breast cancer here, and I need to bring her to the State Health Hospital. I actually have a lot on my schedule now, but I'll try to hook you up. Alright, thank you very much. Alright, we are coming. Digital Mama. Hello. Wow. Is this the girl you told me about? Wow. Why did you go to her first place? My decision was to reach her. I went to different place. No. You should have gone to the hospital when you found out you had a lump in your breast. No. The doctor
Month, which is widely observed in October, has an ultimate target, which is saving lives through proper enlightenment on breast cancer. And with that, we conclude this edition of Arabimrin's Diary. Thank you so much for watching. Another edition would come your way next week, God willing. My name is Timileyin Faladi. Catch you some other time.